Monday wrestling class with Ash, Ash Roden.
Just do the one wrestling session where you like?
Yeah, so we wrestle once up here, Powerhouse, and then AVT is like my gym with the coaches that I spend the most time. So I go AVT on a Tuesday for their wrestling class as well. So I wrestle twice a week.
Yeah. How much do you split your time between here and AVT?
So I pretty much go AVT twice a week, but we're really fortunate that I've got a really good relationship with Danny, obviously the head coach. He provides us with a couple of coaches to cover the classes that I don't teach myself. So then I jump in those classes. So I'm kind of learning off the same guys anyway. So
the classes here, or the classes?
Yeah, the classes here, yeah. So,
that's good.
So like our Jiu-Jitsu classes are all run by AVT, purple belts. So they take our jits for us. And that's all overseen by an AVT black belt, which is Ad Russ. And Danny Mitchell AVT set all that up for us. So it's all like combat base affiliated. And then, so I actually go to AVT twice a week. I go for the Tuesday wrestling and then I go for sparring on a Friday.
Yeah.
But the rest of my training I pretty much do here.
Yeah. This gym you said, you started with Tilly then?
Yeah, well, no, I started it 2 years ago, and then obviously through the lockdowns and stuff, Tilly's a good friend of mine. He sat down and chatted to me. I had big plans to want to change downstairs. Downstairs was nothing like what it is now. Plans to push the gym forwards, but just didn't have the finance or the kind of manpower, because obviously I'm training so much myself and I'm coaching, and then having time to think business minded as well was really struggling. But I had a vision where I wanted to, I just couldn't put the effort in because I was spread so thin. So then Tilly come on board and has helped with that massively. He's kind of behind the scenes, running stuff, making sure things run smoothly, dealing with memberships, all that kind of stuff. So it takes the pressure off me. I can just focus more on coaching.
Yeah. What was that whole experience like, starting your own gym for your first time? What was behind that decision? Yeah,
so I left the previous gym with the intention of starting. Originally I just wanted to do some classes out of some school halls and stuff, but kind of after looking at the price to rent the halls for a couple of hours to set up and stuff, I was like, if I do a couple of classes a week, I'm not far off being able to get a unit at the same price. So I was like, I may as well just go for it and get a unit. So I just went all in, used some savings, and took this place on. It was a bathroom showroom originally, and I stripped it all out with one of my mates.
That's wrestling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Different
it was hard work, but it was all worth it now. It's paid off. We've got a good gym, got a good setup, and got a really good group of lads here as well. So
yeah, what was it like downstairs before then?
So when we first got it, that entranceway where you walked in, that we just ran out of money to do anything with, so we boarded that up. That little room was just empty, and then the main room downstairs, that was another matted area with jigsaw mats, and I used to run my kids' classes down there and adults' classes up here. But just over time there was more of a demand for the strength conditioning side of things. So I really want to transform it and have all the strength conditioning here, so I know it's kind of tailored towards the sport, rather than the lads were asking me, what should I be doing at the gym when I go there outside of the martial arts. A lot of them just bodybuilding, which obviously is kind of really hindering the movement of them and making them a lot stiffer, and not really helping them as an athlete. So I wanted it all in-house, so then I know that they're all doing the right work to help them progress, really.
Do you think there's a lot of PTs then which don't really help cater a lot to mixed martial artists?
Yeah, I think if they go and search for a PT, I'm sure a PT will be able to cater for it, if they're good at what they do and they know the stuff. I just think a lot of lads will get they'll just pay for a pure gym membership, and they'll go themselves with maybe some of the mates who not necessarily do the sport, and they'll just spend a lot of time benching and curling. Benching and curling and stuff, and a lot of time on machines, which not necessarily gonna help them physically get better at martial arts. There's certain movements which will help, and a way of training that's going to help build your strength and cooperate with the movements that you need to do for the sport.
Do you take those strength and conditioning sessions yourself here then? And what do you do in them sessions?
No. So Ross, one of the lads who were wrestling tonight, he's a strength and conditioning coach. He's been a PT for a lot of years, and he's come on board with the gym to run strength and conditioning, along with Kerry, who is also his yoga instructor, and she does jiu-jitsu. She's a blue belt. So those two are run a program together. So it's just a lot of functional movements really, and they'll build up strength for so long, on a movement, say a deadlift, and then they'll obviously taper it down, work some of the more explosive movements with the bands and stuff. Just more tailored towards been strong but been explosive in your
Sounds like more
movements.
like, is it plyometrics you call it?
Yeah. Do a lot of plyometric
Like
stuff.
quite like explosive stuff, like you say.
Yeah. So it's going to increase the power really for the sport rather than like I say, just building muscle that not necessarily functional.
Looks good though.
But yeah. Ross is probably the man to speak. I'm probably selling it really short there because like it's not my forte at all. It's like his speciality. I just take part. So.
Obviously, you went pro at the last Cage Steel event. Yeah. It couldn't have gone a lot better than that, really.
It was an ideal start to the career.
Yeah. What was behind your decision to go pro then?
I've been on my mind for a long time. That's what I wanted to do. I felt like I was good enough for a long period of time as well, in my own mind, and I just got like kind of like the nudge from Danny really to say like, let's knock the amateur fights on the edge. You ready? I think I just had like a little bit of a seed of doubt because I'd only had 3 amateur fights in MMA, but I've had over 20 in kickboxing, so and I'd had a few pro fights in kickboxing as well. So I already had like ring time and experience, and my amateur MMA fights all went really well as well. So he just said you don't really need to. I've been like round good training partners as well that are already at that level or higher. So.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get started in MMA then? Were you kickboxing before that, and like came into MMA, or was it like you started MMA and you sort of focusing more on the kickboxing?
Yeah, so I started kickboxing. Believe it or not, I was a fat kid. I started kickboxing just to lose weight, and then from there, kind of spiraled. I got better at it, got more interested.
Why did you choose that to lose weight?
I don't really know. I tried going to the gym, and I was getting nowhere. And I just wasn't motivated. I tried to go with my mates and stuff to lift weights, and it just wasn't. I just didn't feel motivated to really push hard when we were there or anything. And then I tried a class just to try it out, and really enjoyed it, and I put 110% effort in. And then it just kind of spiraled from there. I ended up going to the guy's gym, and he kind of like got me training with some of his fighters, and then was like, do you want to start fighting? So I was just like, yeah, all right then. So that was like after about 6 months, I think I've been doing it about 6 months. I had my first fight, then moved back over here, found a gym in Wakey, and then trained there for a lot of years.
How did you get into MMA from that then?
It was always something I was, when I used to watch a lot of old K1 fights, and then when I was watching the old K1, obviously I started watching Pride and UFC and stuff as well. And I always really enjoyed watching the UFC more than the K1 fights. And it was obviously just like more of the sport that was in the limelight really, compared to kickboxing's not really like internationally known sport, whereas like MMA is like very much in the media and stuff now. So I just wanted to have a go at it. At first I was like, I feel like I can do it, I want to try. So I used to just go to AVT a couple of times a week, just to try start learning like a bit more of a full game rather than just being like a stand-up fighter.
Yeah, see, that's your background in the sport. Like, was that like 3 head kick finishes now?
I think so. Yeah, about 3 head kicks now in MMA.
That Icelandic, was that your first amateur fight?
Yeah, that was my first amateur fight.
Was there like a lot of trash talk or something before that?
Yeah. So he was like trolling me bad on Instagram and Facebook. He was like, I used to have a doggy daycare business as well, and he was like screenshotting that and saying like, you need to go back to nannying dogs, and just giving me loads of grief basically.
Were you giving it back to him like online? Or?
No, like I'd never ever trash talked nobody before, so to be honest I was just a bit like using it for fuel. I was like, there's no way I'm letting him beat me, so I was saying nothing, and it just made me work harder. When I was at the gym, like I'd have all the lads coming to me saying, have you seen what he's posted and stuff, and I was like, oh god. So I was just like, I can't lose to this guy. So it just made me more motivated really. So I felt a lot of pressure going into the fight really because of that as well. But I feel like I handled it well. And like once I got in there and I got a feel for him, obviously in that first round, by the end of the first round I was really turning the screw on him. And then early in second, put him away.
I was going to say, because the ref was actually dragging you off him at the end.
Yeah, that wasn't like...
Something's gone on there, like...
Yeah, not like a proud moment. I just felt... Because he'd gone down off the kick and then like followed up with a few strikes and he'd gone down. But I could see, although he was dazed, he was still with it. And I was like, I'm not satisfied, because of all the trashy talks. But that was just me letting my emotions get the better of me at that point.
Did the ref have a word with you after that? Like?
Yeah, I nearly got disqualified actually for that, but which was not my proudest moment. But
did you get bollocking back at the gym?
No, to be fair, they were all like, well, he shouldn't have said what he said, kind of thing, he's got to get in there and fight me at the end of the day. So.
Yeah. What do you think's next for you at the minute then? Any opponents you sort of fancy yourself against?
Do you know what? I'd really like to kind of like break into a bigger league like Bellator. I really see like got aspirations to fight for a world title or something like that. And I feel like Bellator's a better fit for me. And I don't feel like I'm a million miles away. You know, when I watch the lads that are on there on the undercards and stuff, I feel like, you know, like a lot of them, like I feel like I'm past that level. So just whatever I need to do to get there and wherever I need to be to get my name thrown in that hat, that'd be what's best next for me.
Just want to get as high as you can.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Like I say, I do feel like I can be challenging for world titles and stuff. Like there's a few areas in my game that I want to tighten up, but I'm always working hard to progress on that. You know, I've got a really good, great team of coaches and training partners to work with, so there's no reason why I can't.
Yeah, I appreciate you chatting to me, mate.